January 1st as the beginning of the new year, because a lot of people in the spiritual community consider spring the new year because that's when everything blooms. So it makes sense. But there's actually an occult meaning why January 1st is celebrated as the first day of the new year. Right. Blue, you illustrated one the best out of everybody. Could you tell us that real quick, my brother?
Yes. So in particular, in our demonstration in our community, a lot of us like to say that we come from, ancient Kemet. We resonate with Syrian energy, right? We align ourselves with the Sirius star system. The Sirius star system is called the dog star, right? And the dog star is a feminine star, so that's a female dog, right? So that is Big Mama, and we continuously say that Big Mama visits on December 31st to January 4th, around on or about that time. She's at her highest declination right above the United States on December 31st, right? Perfectly stationed and conditioned. And we find that the heliacal rising of Sirius Dog Star is during July the 4th, directly above, right? So this country has been orientated specifically to observe Sirius as the mother star or the guiding star of this particular plane of existence. Now, the usurpers can say that that's what they into, but we know that that's not them. So if that's who you are naturally, if you tapping into this information for everything else Kemetic, if you're on that frequency and that calibration
You
with
sound
everything
muffled,
else,
Blue. You sound muffled. I want to hear this. I don't know what you just sound muffled.
is it better now?
You're much better, yes, sir.
Yeah. So if people attune themselves to the Kemetic calibration for everything else that they do, right? Then how can you miss the biggest celebration of it all, right? So it's almost like the conscious community is cutting off their nose to spite their face to say that it's not the new year. And whose calendar? You don't even know where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the Western calendar, the Eastern calendar. Because in the East they celebrated Hanukkah, and in the Coptic Ethiopians celebrated the New Year in September. So what place are you talking about? They was setting on firecrackers in Ghana, and everybody was over there talking about it's the New Year in Ghana. So it's not the New Year in in the West, right? Where things come to die. So you don't understand the mythos of what the West is about. You don't understand your connection to the perfect black. You don't understand who Asar is. So you damn sure don't know who Haru is. So you pump faking. You on the Instagram trying to, you are promoting conscious tropes that we also did. But
and
our
our unknowingness.
and our unknowingness, I understand it during the gestation periods, right? As becoming a supreme mathematician, I'm like, okay, the winter months are 3 months. That's 90 days. The gestation period is 270 days. So that's 9 months, right? In Africa, of all places, before you even have the baby, before you conceive the baby, before the man puts the sperm in the womb, and they make an intention to have the baby, the woman goes and sits under a tree to hear the wind so she can find the baby's song. Then they sing the song while they're having the baby. They're singing the song to the baby while they're in the belly. The mother brings the song to the village, so when the baby's born, they sing the song to the baby. If the baby wanders, then the village is singing the song to summon the baby back.
This nigga came out shooting, Red.
What
Nigga came out shooting today. Oh, shit.
You feel me? And it's also in our ancient traditions, right? As it's told through the lens of Judaism, they call the mother a mini prophet. This is another one. Let's dismiss this conscious trope. Your mother, the mini prophet. So if your mother gives you a name, there's a calibration and a vibration on that name that you whisper to her in order to put on you. So before you abandon that name for something that's 14 syllable, right, conscious, you need to find out how you calibrate to the name that you chose for part of your assignment before you abandon it, trying to get under the canopy of consciousness with these other niggas who seemingly admittingly don't know themselves, because we all question on the quest to know thyself.
Damn. Flu.
Shit.
All right, Blue. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. What you and your lady got going on over there, man? What y'all sipping on, man? What y'all doing over there, man?
Got that white star. Got that white star.
Maybe my fried mushrooms today.
Oh, man.
And look, I like vegan Chipotle bowls when I'm on the road. So she mimicked it. She made the fried onions, right? She said what? Baypole. Yeah, that's Baypole over there.
Baypole.
Olay.
Oh, Baypole. That's what's up. All right, all right, all right. That's what's up.
But I did put a presentation together, and I hit on a lot of these points. I wanted to make sure that this was collegiate and strategic, and yeah, I'll allow you to ask the questions that need to be asked. But I do have a presentation.
What about the serious joint or
about this whole shit, about everything?
I read
all right?
that.
Yeah. Let's get into that probably at the halfway mark.
All right, cool.
Let's just I want to start out with. All right, so we've been talking Blue, you've been talking about the year of Kobe and the mama mentality. I had Aquarius come on my show the other day, said that we got to be married. Yeah, shout out to Aquarius. She talked about how this is the most important year to be married to your purpose. And Minister Drew been on here talking about deep diving into your purpose. So a lot it's what you said?
Hold the presses, man.
Yeah.
We don't say it enough. Salute and shout out to Minister Jew, bro. What you came and did on this platform the other day.
God is weird.
God's here.
God's weird.
And
shout out to Noble and Pooh as well.
I've been owning that phrase, telling people I'm weird, not a weirdo. It's a difference.
It's a big difference. Weird science.
The definition out. And ironically, in the Western Hemisphere, weird is an acronym for Western educated, independent, rich, and democratic. That is an acronym they put on European Western males. They also claim the title of weird. They wear it proudly as well as an acronym. Look it up. But yeah, please continue.
Indeed. So, a lot of people, and it just feels like it's time. It feels like, what it feels like we've gotten so much information. It's it only makes sense to deep dive into your purpose at this time in our incarnation. So I want to ask y'all something to start the show, and I'll answer this as well. What spiritual lesson along your journey did you learn that you totally didn't expect? Like just it took you a whole nother way. Like you going this way, and then all of a sudden something happened, and like, oh shit, now you're going that way. What spiritual lesson was that along your journey? Because I want to prepare people for the. There's a lot of unexpected turns in the spiritual journey. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, interfacing, appreciation, and interacting with ancestors as told to me by the conscious community, that was not correct. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of misinformation. You know what I mean? And when I got into the realms and found out that that's not necessarily what it was, I had to go a little bit deeper. I had to delve into areas that were uncomfortable because there's not enough master teachers in the community necessarily speaking about them in that way. Like as a community, we have not even discussed what our funerary rites are as a culture. You know what I'm saying? How do you prepare the body? How do you consecrate the body to go in the earth? What parts of the body are kept for ceremonial purposes? How do you maintain or make sure that the soul makes an ascension in the 72 hours that our ancestors always spoke about? How do you acquire the body at time of death? You know what I'm saying? These things are very important because this is what our entire cultures were built around, the ascension protocol. So, every time one of our ancestors or our elders in the community transition, they get buried in the church. And they're getting buried in the dirt at a cemetery. And it's, you don't see it's not like Masonic cemeteries. You know what I'm saying? They make sure that they are inclusive of ceremonial engagement before they send a person off. They understand the importance of that. So we might be like dogs in this community chasing our tail. It might just all be ego-based because it's not really to prepare nobody. It's a pissing contest, but it doesn't deal with the pedigree of life, of living, and it doesn't really deal with, transition. And, nobody ever explained to me financial literacy in this community until some of the younger people in the community came along. We haven't even had communications with people in our network. Like, do you know how to balance a checkbook? You know what I'm saying? Like simple shit. So those were the things. Like, I think that with some of the information, I got too far ahead of myself, so I had to go back to make sure that I check, you know, the simple stuff off, the rudimentary elementary parts that, you know, that you need to make sure that you are proficient in if you out here adulting.
Red, I'm gonna ask this question again. What spiritual lesson did you learn, my brother, along your journey that you totally did not expect?
There are many, and for the sake of timing, I'll only mention one at the moment. When technology and spirituality met at the intersection, I wasn't prepared for that. Okay. Technology is, in a sense, spirituality, because anything that you see in the technological realm started in the mental realm. There's no technology yet. It is not sentient. It doesn't create itself. So as of today, all technology started in man's mind. All technology started out in the mental plane. It is all defined as Heka, right? So anything that's in mind is spiritual. However, when spirituality, right, which is different from spirit or spiritual, but when spirituality as a movement, a new movement that was budding amongst our generation. I'm speaking about spirituality from our generation, from our perspective. When it met technology, which was, it's not part of nature, right? Because you can't take a phone in the ocean with you.
Yes, you can.
You can't. Well, you can't take you could take a waterproof iPhone or a Samsung in the water. However, I can't take this camera. I can't take this laptop. I can't take I have a $15,000 computer that got water spilt on it. And it wasn't really a whole cup of water. The water spilt on the table and just brushed the underside of it. Technology, computer gone. Right? It's not what technology brought is a level of ego that was talked about in the movie The Matrix. So the movie The Matrix is somewhat of a dichotomy of the intersection of where technology and spirituality don't coexist, or how they were actually an antagonist and protagonist relationship. So I saw technology bring ego. It brought about this fake sense of, you know, individualism, right? Because spirituality doesn't teach that. Spirituality teaches the power of the collective, not the fractal, not the broken up pieces, but the collective. Technology makes people feel like they're individuals because they have the 14 and you got the 13, right? Because they got more memory and you don't. Things like that. They're, you know, or they got more followers, or they got more, you know, algorithm wise, the more impressions. Technology is this glass that's in between me and you, touching flesh to flesh and really getting a charge or really making something really happen. Technology is almost like we're behind this glass mirror. Like Blue Pill says, the phone is the black mirror. So I just saw how it compromised a spiritual people, because people are not as spiritual as they were before phones became smart. They claim to be knowing more spirituality, but at the same time, real spirituality, physical spirituality, real world spirituality, like in the real, not what you could do in the real and whatnot, that is being lost for this new this synthetic artificial AI version of what people call spirituality.
Excellent. I would say one of the biggest lessons that I learned that I didn't expect along this spiritual journey, I would guess I would say I didn't realize just exactly, you know, we hear about reality being subjective, but I didn't realize exactly how subjective it really was until I was on the journey. And I realized how much of an individual journey it is, regardless of, and maybe that's just my journey, regardless of how much of it that we push of us being a collective, which is very important for you to truly be your unique, authentic self.
Right.
It's something that nobody will understand, and you want so bad to talk to somebody about certain things that you experience, and you just can't, because nobody's gonna understand it. But your height, so it's like you really, I just understood that I really had to develop this relationship with my higher self. You're the greatest, because the thing about it is, you'll tell your journey to your master teacher and your quote unquote master teacher, and they would like be like, nah, they'll say something to the contrary of the journey you're supposed to go on. And you have to be so strong
Right.
that you don't look at like you're not worshiping nobody. Because if you worship man, you will never find your journey. And the majority of people in our community, whether they admit it or not, they personality worshipers. If
They
if
are.
if if and I don't want to use this analogy, but if one of these brothers on the channel told some of these dudes to drop to their knees and show gratitude, these niggas would. These niggas would.
We've seen it
That's
happen
we
already.
seen it happen. That's how much followers these Negroes are. They would
Right.
drop to their knees and show gratitude. So you have to realize how individual it is, and that you want this community, you want it, and you're gonna get it. But there's just so many things that you just got to keep to yourself, because it's meant to be to yourself. And not only your wife or your husband is gonna understand, your children won't understand it. It's just totally, totally 100% for you. So I
Can
just
I,
had to realize that. You got it,
can I
brother.
add
Yeah.
on? Because this
Yes.
is an interesting point that you brought up.
Yes.
And I also have to speak about the other side of the coin with technology, that technology is providing the world the opportunity to see for the first time in real time people evolve and transform before their very own eyes.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mhm.
This walk that we're collectively on, that we could say, I could tell my son, well, I am a pioneer who was at the beginning of a new era and a new epoch where we were living our lives, right, in the quote unquote front of hundreds of thousands of people. Keep in mind, you've been everybody on this thing been a college football game before, where the capacity is about 60,000.
I never been to one. No, I never been to one.
Okay, you've been in the Garden in
Yeah.
Barclays when it was
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah.
All right. So have you ever been to like a Bad Bunny concert? I won't judge you. Like you went
No.
to Rihanna, you
I
made it
went
to
to
Renaissance,
the
fam. I
last
think I seen the
concert.
movie. Did I see you in
Listen,
that?
listen, man. You Brooklyn dudes got jokes, but listen, the last concert I went to was Kanye when he was at Made in America in Philly. That's the last one I went to in like 2014.
And what was the capacity though?
Oh, I don't know, but it was jammed.
Yo,
I was like a sardine.
we
Okay.
gotta get you out, man. I'm gonna
Well,
Huh?
sponsor.
currently, huh?
Huh?
I'm gonna sponsor the next concert to come through town, man. We gotta get you out.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
Yeah,
what's
get
the
no
you out.
fact.
But you Harlem brothers, man. You gotta get you outside. But Blue Pill's video on EYL, Earn Your Leisure platform, is almost at 4 million. What I'm saying is this: if you were to see what 4 million looks like in real life people, right? The same way if you were to see what 60,000, it looks like that. If you're in a stadium and you feel that power in that stadium, what if they're all looking at you and you're doing 60,000 on a video? Your platform is at 400,000. So we are coming into a day because of technology. They're going to show me, you, Blue, and everybody else what that not only looks like, but the power and the benefit of that. That's the future that we're going into, right? Technology is about to do a lot of things in the year of 2024 like it did it in 23. This year is going to be the year of virtual. This is the year of augmented. This thing is going to open up. So the flip side of technology that could be a real positive is there's never been a time where we could broadcast around the world in real time without too many middlemen in the middle of us. I'm directly broadcasting to somebody around the world right now in real time. I'm saying what I want to say. I'm expressing myself to a degree to say basically what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? What my plans may be. If I have an idea that I want to share with the world, I'm able to do that right now. What if our master teachers had this? Imagine how their lives would be taking place in front of the gaze of millions of people. So we're in the eyes of millions of people. We're literally living in history right now.
No, you fact. That's facts. That's facts.
So we're gonna make the best of the technology that has done what for all three of us. It has changed not only our lives, but anywhere around the world that we go to. Our social credit is at an all-time high.
especially in the post-Cat Williams world. Our social credit is at an all-time high because they try to scare you with social credit, but it could be a good thing. But please continue.
Yo, you know what's funny? First of all, shout out to Urban X TV.
Shout out to Urban X. Dot Malcolm.
Yeah. Yo, Dot. I would love to know if you could put it in the chat and maybe we could read it later on. Damn, I wish I would have called Dot too and had him get on here. But Dot, if you could tell us in the chat, what's